been a little while since I did a video, and like I said at the beginning of the year, I'm really, you know, I had missed making videos for YouTube, but I was really, you know, keen to do them fairly ad hoc, like just as and when the feeling took me, you know. And there have been a few things that I've kind of wanted to vlog, and then I've just been really in the moment. So I haven't vlogged them. But I thought it'd be quite nice to do a little catch-up vlog with you while I work on my temperature blanket. So this, before we go any further, is my 2024 temperature blanket. I am now up to September. As you can see, hasn't been the most ridiculously hot summer on record. But you know, it was warm, I can't complain. I only used the hottest colour once, but you know, that's fine. And we're now kind of into autumn, but it's still a bit warm, it's not too chilly. So yeah, it's I'm doing a lemon. I'm doing this in Stylecraft DK. I got the list of colours because I started it quite late. I started it sort of mid-January, I think. And I got the list of colours of the Lovecrafts website, so I will link that down below if you are interested. I have really enjoyed actually making a year-long blanket. I already have bought some grey that I'm going to use to edge it to make it look nicely finished. So it's not going to be finished on the 31st. It is going to be finished at some point in January 2025. But I do already have plans for a 2025 blanket. I'm not going to do a temperature blanket. I am going to do, how will I call this? I think I'm going to call it, I'm going to do the hours of daylight, because I've really liked how you can see the passage of time through the year with this. So I thought I would do the hours of daylight in 2025. So that is my plan for once this is finished in January. So that's kind of that on the blanket. I have been working on a lot of mini projects. I recently, more like several months ago, but I have put all of my stash on Ravelry. So I've put all my stash on Ravelry. I haven't put any pictures on there, which is, it doesn't make it as usable as I hoped, but it does mean that I can kind of work on getting my stash down. I haven't really bought any yarn this year. Present yarn accepted. But I have really enjoyed just working through my stash. I've got plenty in my stash. So I've been working on lots of little projects. This morning, I cast on my very last Christmas sock. I cast on number 24 out of the West Yorkshire Spinners Christmas 2024 colourway called Yuletide. So I've cast that on, that is a go. And my lovely friend Jude picked up some Christmas yarn for me in SSK, so I think I will be making 25. Potentially I'm going to save that as my Christmas cast on. So it's Targy, it's really beautiful, and I would absolutely love to kind of have a special Christmas cast on. So I'm probably gonna make that my 25th pair, but not actually cast it on till the 24th, if that makes sense. But I'm really looking forward to finishing up this last pair of socks and then doing like a catwalk video. So that'll be really fun. In other projects, I have been working on what I am calling Mitmas. So Kay Jones of the Bakery Bears released a knitting pattern. Of course it's a knitting pattern, Nikki. She released a mitt pattern called Jane's Mitts. It's part of their Summer of Stitching, so it's actually only available if you're a patron. So I became a patron just to access this pattern, because I'd knit the scrappy quilt socks out of my Halloween yarn. I did it in my Jack and Sally yarn, which I really love, and I really enjoyed the pattern, and it's a kind of a similar thing for the mitts. So I decided I really wanted them, and I thought it'd be a lovely thing to knit for my nan for her birthday, and I did. I knit my nan a lovely pair of mitts out of this Rowan cashmere tweed that I've had for ages. I've had it about 7 years because I picked up this bag of yarn when I was working at Lovecrafts. and I have decided that this is the perfect project for this yarn. So I am planning to knit as many mitts as I can out of these little 50-gram balls, just because they're a nice quick knit. They're kind of mindless, but a little bit more interesting than just going up and down on a sock. So I've decided to do that and then put them all away for gifts. So if you know me, you might be getting a pair of mitts that are cashmere tweed for Christmas or for your birthday. Who knows? But, you know, handmade. So there we go. I'm going to work on that to get through that, which will make quite a dent in my, well, I say quite a dent in my stash. It will get rid of a bag of yarn out of my stash. Something else I have been working on is some colour work. We are all shocked because remember, like, I think I did the Selbu mittens years ago now, like 6-7 years ago, and I found it really, really tricky. But I had bought, before Jude closed Stranded Dye Works, I had bought a bundle? No, like a set of yarn from him, and that was in partnership with Zolder Teague for the Tyri hat. So that is something that I've had knocking about my stash for ages, and I was dog sitting this past couple of weeks, so I took that over and I decided I'm just gonna sit and work on this hat, and I actually knit it in a day. And I thought I could probably get 2 hats out of the yarn, which is beautiful, by the way. I mean, anyone who knows Stranded knows it's beautiful, goes without saying, but it is beautiful. And I actually didn't find it too hard. I didn't unpick any of it. It worked out pretty well. It was a bit lumpy, but not anything that wouldn't have blocked out. The issue is, this thing is tiny, and this is the medium size. So I think my tension, I tend to have quite a tight gauge. So I think that's the issue. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cast it on again in the large size, and I'm gonna go up a needle size, and we're gonna give it another go. And like, worst case scenario, I can donate them. It will fit a child. It's not like it's not gonna fit anyone. And to be honest, I didn't buy this yarn and pattern in order to wear it myself, because it's a, is it called like a toque style hat, where it's just like, it's like a quite a tight, it's like a skull kind of cap fit, like it hugs the skull. So I kind of felt like I don't really enjoy that kind of style of hat. I have got one, the Take Heart hat, and I don't wear it very often because the moment I take it off, my hair just goes poof. Whereas if I have something that's more beanie style, it's only kind of hugging around here and there's space, and I don't get such bad hat hair. So I'm really just doing it for the fun of, you know, working on colour work. The fun of working on colour work. Who ever thought I was going to say that? So those are the projects that I have been working on most recently. I'm definitely going to keep working on the mitts, keep working on socks. But in organising my stash and putting it all on Ravelry, I have realised that I actually do have some sweater quantities of yarn. So I have decided I am going to knit a jumper. And I found a pattern, and I can't remember the name because I'm fairly certain it's Norwegian. And I'm also fairly certain that the pattern is Norwegian as well. So Google Translate is going to be doing some heavy lifting. But I think when I get through all of the mitts and the hat project, I think I'm going to pick that up. Other things that I need to get on with, I need to finish my Lois shawl, and by finish I mean I need to weave in the ends and take finished pictures so that I can share it with you guys. So I did do some filming while I was working on it, and I'd love to share that. Obviously I'll be working on my Christmas box of socks to share with you, and I have had a really good summer, so there's a couple of things to share from that. So what have I been doing apart from making stuff? What have I been doing the past few months? Well, as it is summer, there has been some travel. I went to Greece with a friend of mine. We went to Rhodes, which was absolutely gorgeous. We went on a boat trip. We just did lots of swimming and sightseeing. We saw the Acropolis, which I think that's what it's called. I'll double check and I'll put it on the screen if I'm wrong. But yeah, that was absolutely amazing. It was boiling. So it was actually almost kind of nice to come home and it not be excessively warm as demonstrated by my temperature blanket. But that wasn't the only trip. I was incredibly lucky this year. I managed to get 2 trips in. I saw some friends. So I have friends, the group of us are kind of scattered across Europe, you know, Portugal, Austria, Scotland. We're very much spread quite widely, and we decided let's meet up somewhere, and we settled on Nice. And honestly, I would be quite happy to just go and live in Nice because it was gorgeous. The food was amazing, the wine was amazing, obviously. And we basically just spent the 2 days, because we did a long weekend, so it's kind of 2 full days. We got this amazing Airbnb, and then we spent the 2 days just by the sea. And I say by the sea, we didn't do a lot of sunbathing. We did a lot of sea swimming and just bobbing around in the sea, chatting, which was really nice. And then we went to a different restaurant every night, gorgeous, had a lot of croissants, beautiful. On that first night, I had the sea bass and the creme brulee of my life. I've literally never had, I love sea bass so much, and I've literally never had better. So good, so good. And then when I got back, August was crazy. I was so lucky in August. I got back, and about a week later, I went to the Eras tour. I didn't originally get tickets on the first kind of wait list, and then she announced, she being Taylor, who she's the cat's mother, Taylor announced a second set of London dates. I happened to get a code for it. They were going on sale when I had a meeting, so I threw them at my friend. I threw the credit card and the budget and the code at him. He got the tickets, and they were expensive. They were very expensive, but the beauty of the credit card is I paid it off in installments. It is not an amount of money that I would be happy to pay again, even for Taylor. This felt very special because I did have tickets to see Lover. That was 2020. There have been how many albums? Like 5 albums since. So it just felt like a very special thing, and it was worth the money. I got a goodie bag included with that, and I have shot myself turning that goodie bag into a bit of a souvenir, so that will be out soon too. I will say there's a lot of paper in that goodie bag. There's a lot of paper, but you know what, I don't really care about the goodie bag. I cared about the experience of being there. My friend and I adore her. When the albums drop, we're just like, oh my god, what are you loving? What is your favorite? So yeah, it's just really nice to have that memory. And I think I say this in the souvenir Taylor kind of video that I did, and I'll say it here in case you don't watch that, which is absolutely fine, that I was saying to him in the merch queue, because I got myself a sweatshirt. I was like, you know, the one thing I'm really sad about is I'm not going to hear Long Live or You're on Your Own Kid, because those are 2 of my favourite songs. They mean a lot to me for different reasons, and I'm a bit sad about that. And then, secret song, she mashed up Long Live with Change, which is not one that is a super favourite of mine, but it worked really well, and mainly I was just like, hearing Long Live was just like, ugh. And then she sang The Archer, which is one of my favourites from Lover, and mashed that up with You're on Your Own Kid. So I was a mess. I was a complete and utter mess, and it was absolutely beautiful. It was a beautiful night. Everyone was chatting on the tube there. Everyone was chatting on the tube back. We did friendship bracelet swaps. It was a really good atmosphere. You know what? It reminded me of London 2012. That's what it reminded me of. It was people just chatting and being really nice, and it was just been lovely. Just been lovely. And yeah, so it's been a fairly quiet September in comparison to my August. So yeah, it's just been a fantastically busy summer. I keep saying it, but I do feel incredibly lucky that I had the opportunity to travel as much as I did, to spread the cost of that travel, and to go to a concert that so many people wanted to go to and so many people missed out on. But yeah, so look out, coming up, the Taylor souvenir video. I am planning to do some little mini project or even project videos to kind of walk you through what I've been working on. I probably won't do it for the little itty bitty projects like the mitts, but you know, larger ones. And I also I tidied out my wardrobe this summer and just reorganized it. And I have a lot of stuff in there that's just stored away, and because it's stored away I don't look at it, you know. And a lot of my friends and family buy me little like craft kits for birthdays and Christmas, and I've not made any of them, so I thought I would vlog my way through working through those. I've got soap making, I've got candle making, I've got pebble art, so I thought I would work on that and do some videos about it and share them with you, because they are now currently, I'm looking at them, I'm nodding at them like they can see me, sat on my bookcase. So I'm going to be working on those. But in the meantime, that is all I've been working on. I will see you very soon. I hope you've enjoyed sitting and having a cup of tea with me, even though I haven't had a cup of tea, I've just had my crochet. And I will see you very soon, or at some point is probably the better thing to say. But I hope you have been well. I hope you've had a great summer. It'd be great if you could drop in the comments what you've been up to this summer, because you never know, you might be inspiring my next year plans. And did you get to go and see Taylor Swift? Did you want to? Did you get tickets? Did you happen to go on the 19th of August? Because like we would have been there at the same time, which would be quite funny. Small world. So that's it, really. It's kind of a mini podcast. It's a mini tea and possibilities, but not quite. Because I never knit on that or crocheted, did I? Let's get chatting. Look out very soon for my tailor video. Look out for my upcoming Christmas box of socks walkthrough, literally a walkthrough, because they're going to be on my feet. And I will see you very, very soon for another cup of tea. Take care. Bye.